For pity's sake, honey, what's the matter? Asked the voice of the nearest neighbor, Wesley Sinton, as he seated himself beside Elnora. There, he continued, smearing tears all over her face in an effort to dry them. Was it as bad as that, now? Maggie has been just wild over you all day. She's got nervouser every minute. She said we were foolish to let you go. She said your clothes were not right. You ought not to carry that tin pail, and that they would laugh at you. By gum, I see they did. Oh, Uncle Wesley, sobbed the girl, why didn't she tell me? Well, you see, Elnora, she didn't like to. You got such a way of holding up your head, and going through with things. She thought some way that you'd make it, till you got started, and then she begun to see 100 things we should have done. I reckon you hadn't reached that building before she remembered that your skirt should have been pleated instead of gathered, your shoes been low, and lighter for hot September weather, and a new hat. Were your clothes right, Elnora? The girl broke into hysterical laughter. Right, she cried, right. Uncle Wesley, you should have seen me among them. I was a picture. They'll never forget me. No, they won't get the chance, for they'll see me again tomorrow. Now that is what I call spunk, Elnora. Downright grit, said Wesley Sinton. Don't you let them laugh you out. You've helped Margaret and me for years at harvest and busy times. What you've earned must amount to quite a sum. You can get yourself a good many clothes with it. Don't mention clothes. Uncle Wesley, sobbed Elnora. I don't care now how I look. If I don't go back, all of them will know it's because I am so poor I can't buy my books. Oh, I don't know as you are so dratted poor, said Sinton meditatively. There are 300 acres of good land, with fine timber as ever grew on it. It takes all we can earn to pay the tax. And Mother wouldn't cut a tree for her life. Well then, maybe, I'll be compelled to cut one for her, suggested Sinton. Anyway, stop tearing yourself to pieces and tell me. If it isn't clothes, what is it? It's books and tuition. Over $20 in all. Humph. First time I ever knew you to be stumped by $20, Elnora, said Sinton, patting her hand. It's the first time you ever knew me to want money, answered Elnora. This is different from anything that ever happened to me. Oh, how can I get it? Uncle Wesley, drive to town with me in the morning and I'll draw it from the bank for you. I owe you every cent of it. You know you don't owe me a penny, and I wouldn't touch one from you. Unless I really could earn it. For anything that's past, I owe you and Aunt Margaret for all the home life and love I've ever known. I know how you work, and I'll not take your money. Just a loan. Elnora, just a loan for a little while until you can earn it. You can be proud with all the rest of the world, but there are no secrets between us, are there, Elnora? No, said Elnora. There are none. You and Aunt Margaret have given me all the love there has been in my life. That is the one reason above all others why you shall not give me charity. Hand me money because you find me crying for it. This isn't the first time this old trail has known tears and heartache. All of us know that story. Freckles stuck to what he undertook and won out. I stick, too. When Duncan moved away, he gave me all Freckles left in the swamp, and as I have inherited his property, maybe his luck will come with it. I won't touch your money, but I'll win some way. First, I'm going home and try Mother. It's just possible I could find second-hand books, and perhaps all the tuition need not be paid at once. Maybe they would accept it quarterly, but oh, Uncle Wesley, you and Aunt Margaret keep on loving me. I'm so lonely, and no one else cares. Wesley Sinton's jaws met with a click. He swallowed hard on bitter words and changed what he would have liked to say 3 times before it became articulate. Elnora, he said at last. If it hadn't been for one thing, I'd have tried to take legal steps to make you ours when you were 3 years old. Maggie said then it wasn't any use, but I've always held on. You see, I was the first man there, honey, and there are things you see that you can't ever make anybody else understand. She loved him, Elnora, she just made an idol of him. There was that oozy green hole with the thick scum broke, and 2 or 3 big bubbles slowly rising that were the breath of his body. There she was in spasms of agony, and beside her the great heavy log she'd tried to throw him. I can't ever forgive her for turning against you, and spoiling your childhood as she has, but I couldn't forgive anybody else for abusing her. Maggie has got no mercy on her. But Maggie didn't see what I did, and I've never tried to make it very clear to her. It's been a little too plain for me ever since. Whenever I look at your mother's face, I see what she saw. So I hold my tongue and say, in my heart, give her a mite more time. Someday it will come. She does love you, Elnora. Everybody does, honey. It's just that she's feeling so much. She can't express herself. You be a patient girl and wait a little longer. After all, she's your mother, and you're all she's got but a memory. And it might do her good to let her know that she was fooled in that. It would kill her, cried the girl swiftly. Uncle Wesley, it would kill her. What do you mean?